Welcome to this training on Canvas 2.0. Canvas, as most of you know, is the electronic or software version of the Virginia Child and Adolescent Needs and Strengths, or the CANS assessment. I'm Carol Wilson at the Office of Children's Services and will be leading this demonstration. Canvas was launched on July 1, 2009, built on CANS software created by the state of Indiana and a software vendor, RCR Technology. So 7 years later, it's time for a change. The Office of Children's Services is pleased to be able to demonstrate the new Canvas 2.0 system, which has several improvements to create a better experience for its users. One significant change is that there are now two versions of the CANS for use in Virginia, one for children served by the local Department of Social Services, referred to as the DSS Enhanced CANS, and the second, the Standard CANS, for all other users. This demonstration using the Standard CANS is for those of you who work for court services units, the Community Services Board or Behavioral Health Authority, or the school division, and complete CANS for children receiving CSA-funded services. This demonstration of the Standard CANS will focus specifically on navigating the new system when searching for and adding a child and entering assessments, as well as looking at the assessment report. I assume most of you have some familiarity with the current Canvas system, which is accessible at canvas.csa.virginia.gov. That location will remain unchanged with Canvas 2.0. For today, we'll be working in a demonstration area, and we'll begin the demo by logging onto the Canvas 2.0 test site. Before we get started, just a couple of comments. If you currently have an active Case Manager account in the Canvas system, that account and current login information, as well as your current CANS certification, will transfer with the conversion. Local administrators will set up accounts for new Case Managers. As a Case Manager, you will only see the assessments and the reports relevant to your caseload. Case Managers currently may have multiple accounts if they work in more than one locality. Over the next few months, users with accounts in multiple localities will have those accounts merged, and we will be contacting each of those users to let them know what to do. Your local administrators, formerly referred to as super users or report administrators, will be able to see child-specific data and cumulative reports for your locality. On the login page, as with the current system, there are tabs for news and documents. We anticipate using these links more actively with the new system, so please check here periodically for updates. You can also see a link for Forgot Password. So let's get started. We're logging in as a Case Manager, Tanya Smith. The first thing most of you will notice is that the layout is much more user-friendly and visually easier to navigate. Although the site looks different, its navigation is very similar to the current Canvas system. On the home page, once you log in, you may see various alerts in a red font. These alerts are reminding you that you have assessments either open for longer than 60 days or reminders for upcoming reassessments or if your recertification is coming due. You can click on View Alert Details for more information. One new feature in Canvas 2.0 is that open assessments will be deleted from the system on the 75th day. All CANS assessments should be closed within 60 days of the assessment date. If assessments are not closed, they are not valid. A 15-day grace period is in place, so an open assessment will be deleted if not closed by the 75th day. Let's begin by searching for a child, and then we'll create a new child in Canvas. So first, we're going to demonstrate what happens if the child's information is already in the system. On the Child menu, click Child Search. You put in the child's social and the last name. The social we're using is 001010101, last name Cat. If you have the correct last name and social security number, the new system will find a child anywhere in the state, so you can view previous assessments and add a new assessment in your location and not create a duplicate record. When you search and locate the child in the system, you can review and edit their information and then add new assessments. So we're going to click on Mackenzie's bar and open up that child view page. And here you can make changes if needed. You can look at the different edit functions, such as changing the date of birth, or if you needed to update the social security number or any other information. Okay, so we're going to click Save and Cancel. Now we're going to enter a new child. So Go back to the child search page and enter the Social Security number 007070077 and the last name Parr, P-A-R-R, and click search. No child found. So you can then choose Add Child and add the information for Catherine Parr. For those of you who currently use Canvas, this is like the current demographic page in Canvas. If I try to enter a date of birth that makes the child older than 21 years of age, like 1/1/95, the system will not accept that date of birth and will issue an error message. The child must be under the age of 21. You may not save. So I'll enter a valid date of birth, 1/1/2000. Okay, you'll enter the Social Security number again if needed. Oops. 0077. And the referral source, there's a drop-down box. So you'll select referral source of CSU or CSB, or DJJ rather, or DOE. The internal ID is an agency number for the child. So for example, for DJJ, it's the JTS number. At DOE, the Student Testing Identifier. At the CSB, the local unique identifier used by your agency. You're going to select the appropriate race, select female for gender, and select ethnicity, Hispanic or non-Hispanic. Remember that Hispanic is not a race and can be associated with any race. Okay, any other fields? So we're going to hit Add Child, or Save rather, and move on to location. If at any time you need to edit that information, you can go back, click the Edit tab, and do it. The next page adds the location for the child. So we're going to add, if you're a case manager, you can only add a child in the locations for which you have accounts. Once a location has been assigned to a child, the system will not allow the child to be deleted to the system. So since Tanya is a case manager in Accomack, that's the only choice she has. You do have the ability to put in an end date, but you may also leave that blank. That end date is helpful if the child moves to a different locality and you want to put an end date for when they were in your locality. Okay, so we click Save and we go back to the main child page and click on the Caregiver tab at the bottom. And we'll see that there are no caregivers listed for this child, for Catherine. So we're going to click on Add Caregiver, and you'll see that there are fields to capture information about this caregiver, but only 4 data points are required. The caregiver's first and last name, the location. There's a drop-down box for all of the states and territories in the United States, defaults to Virginia. And then there's a drop-down box for a host of relationships that you can choose. So we'll click Save. And move back, and you'll see under caregivers that Jane Parr is now showing up as the mom. We're just going to enter one, but you may enter and rate more than one caregiver in the standard version of CANS. Caregivers may be deleted or made inactive too. Now that we've created a new child with a location and a caregiver, we'll create a new comprehensive 5+ initial assessment. Click on Add Assessment on the Child View page. And again, the next page is similar to what exists in the current system. Under Assessment Tool, we'll select CANS Comprehensive 5+. You'll notice that the only options you have are consistent with the age of the child based on the date of birth you entered for the child. Of course, the options are for the initial, for which you always use the comprehensive version, the reassessment, or discharge CANS, which again is the comprehensive version. The system will always require an initial assessment prior to any other type being allowed. The referral source field is pre-populated. Next, select the locality. Unless you're a case manager with multiple assigned locations, you will only have one choice here. For this case manager, that choice is Accomack. We'll select Initial, as this is the first assessment for this youth. Only your name should show in the drop-down box, or in this case, Tanya's name. So select it. The assessment date will pre-populate with today's date. However, if you actually completed the assessment on a different date, enter that date. Note that the system defaults to interview mode. If you are new to the CANS, you may wish to use the interview mode as more narrative is displayed regarding the meaning of each item and rating. The alternative is rapid entry mode, where you will see only the items and the ratings with no definitions. In Part 2, we'll add an assessment for this child. We'll close this video and then you can launch Part 2.